احنا نقدر نبدأ.
تمام.
ميرسي يا دكتور.
شكرا ليكي. طيب احنا طبعا ما شاء الله يوم قوي جدا مليء بالمحاضرات. انا عارف ده اخر اليوم، فاكيد غالبيه الناس ما شاء الله يعني اكيد مجهده، ولكن يكون ختامها مسك باذن الله بسيشن حلوه. احنا السيشن الاخرانيه دي احنا معانا ايفلين محارب. هلو، ازي حضرتك؟
Hello and good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Hello, Eveline. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Nice to meet you, Mr.
Nice to
Slav.
meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, so can I give a brief biography about Eveline? Eveline Muhareb is the long-term program and administrative manager at the DRD Information Center in Eastern Jerusalem. She's currently also holds the position of interim director. She acts as the liaison officer for incoming and outgoing scholars and higher education institutions between Germany and Palestine, and as advisor for the scholarships. She also gives counseling to free moving students about the admission process to German universities and about life in Germany. Let's start with welcome Eveline, and can you start please?
Okay, thank you very much for the nice introduction, Islam. I think I have to share my screen, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll do my best to do that. Let's share. Okay, and I'll put this presentation on big. Okay, looks good. Okay, so if you can all hear me well, I think I would start. Thank you very much for having me, for inviting me. Thank you very much also for giving me a chance to get myself up to date on all the programs available for the region. So that's a really great chance. Before I start on DAD programs, I would like to tell you very briefly about the DAD. Since its foundation in 1925, it has become one of the world's most important and largest funding organizations for the international exchange of students and researchers. It's supporting the internationalization of German university, and it's promoting German studies and German language abroad. The DAD strategy 2025 calls for supporting potentials, strengthening networks, and sharing expertise. And it truly means change by exchange. That means, especially on the DAD structures outside the information officers and the regional offices worldwide, we provide information and support for incoming German researchers and students, and for outgoing individuals or for the university partnerships and so forth for Germany. So we are the liaison point. You can turn to us with questions anytime. I would like to start off a little bit with the DAD individual funding, knowing that I cannot go into details in this session with all the different programs, but I try to give you a general outline and to let you know where to turn for support, where you can find the information. So if you're looking for individual funding for yourself, then you should go to www.funding-guide.de, which is the DAD scholarship database. It includes also other German funding organizations such as political and denominational foundations, the Germany scholarship, and much more. And under these settings, the funding is posted for master, for PhD, for research, for exchange semesters, internships, and so forth. You should know that funding usually starts at the master level. For a first degree, the funding is very high. The application process typically starts in the year preceding the start of study and research. So right now, we are reviewing here at the DAD in Palestine applications for PhD, master, and research visits. Our deadline was 31st of August. Some other offices or countries in the region may have a little bit later deadline. And when all goes well, the individuals who get a scholarship will get to know in the springtime of 2022. They will start with the German language course, which is usually included in individual funding. It could be 2 to 4 months. So most likely PhD and master students will start the German language course in June, and will start with the research or master studies in October. So it's really a long process, and you need to be well prepared. And it's a good idea, even if the deadlines are closed now, to start getting the information and prepare yourself for the next round to be ready. On the master level, we have options for all academic disciplines. We have special options for the arts, for music, for architecture. There are specific development-related courses. There are specific public policy and good governance courses. I think here today we have mostly scientists, but there are also very interesting programs. On the PhD programs, typically, if you are doing your research in Germany, you do this with an individual supervisor, with a very close relationship. They call it even Dr. Father or Dr. Mother. So that's the most traditional German way, but there are also structured PhD programs, as you know, more better from the Anglo-Saxon countries. And there's also binational supervised programs. So that means you could also do part of your PhD research in your home country and part in Germany. I would really like to draw your attention also to the PhD Germany database. These are open PhD positions in German in a single database. You know, if a university has project funding, with that usually comes doctoral positions to carry out the research, and they post these PhD positions in the PhD Germany database. So that's a very good idea to follow that, to check it if you know, something is open, if there's an opening in your discipline which fits your needs. Go for it, apply for it. The value is roughly that of a PhD scholarship, around 1,200, 1,500 euros. It depends on the program, but it's a very good way of funding your PhD and research in Germany. If you're already thinking about postdoctoral research, you should turn to the PhD Research in Germany website. This tells you everything about the German research and funding landscape. There are many actors in that level. You have the Max Planck Society, Leibniz Society, Deutsche Forschungsgesellschaft, the DFG, and so forth. And of course, you can also look there for short research visits, implementation research programs for former PhD alumni. So that's a useful website to learn for postdoctoral research, but also for PhD. DAD also offers, or rather boasts, practical traineeships in natural sciences and engineering, agriculture, and forestry. In these traineeships or internships, you apply through the so-called IRSD committee, because much like the DAD, it works in both directions. There is German students who want to do training abroad, and there's international students who want to do training in Germany. So on this website, you will find what's available for your country. So if you're looking for traineeships, follow that website. And if you just want to learn German or improve your German, if you know already German, B1 level and above, and you're still a student, then you could apply for a summer course. They're brief courses, German language only, but it's a good idea to get to know Germany, to get to know a German university, and you will find out whether or not you would like to do your master or your PhD in Germany. Continuing with the individual funding, the availability and the deadlines really depend on your home country, where you hail from. And I did a little bit of research because I was also interested myself to see what's available for other countries, not just for Palestine. Then I was astonished to see that the master studies for all academic disciplines, it's available for Palestine, for Yemen, for other countries, but not for all countries in the region. On the other hand, the research grants, the doctoral programs, PhDs are available for Algeria, Morocco, Sudan, Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, Libya, Palestine. Research grants by national supervised doctoral degrees are also available for many countries in the region. These are the ones where your country already offers good PhD programs, and you would do part of your research in your home country, you have a supervisor from your home country, and you do part also in Germany with a co-supervisor from Germany. On the other hand, traineeships, university summer courses, they're available all over the country. Okay. Now, I hope I've done my research thoroughly, but there's no other way than to follow the funding guide, the DRD scholarship database, and find out what's currently on offer for your home country. Now, for local support, and where you can turn to for individual information, what are the rules for application in your country, all these details which may not be covered by the DRD websites. You have the DRD regional office in Cairo. There you're looking for inquiries for Egypt and Sudan. And when I checked the individual programs, I found 19 options for Egypt and I found 29 for Sudan. And DRD Egypt also offers two very interesting programs. For one, the MENA project, which stands for Clusters of Scientific Innovation in Middle East and North Africa. These are ongoing interdisciplinary events in agriculture, cultural heritage. In fact, the next public lecture in cultural heritage is just on this week, on September 23. So, for those of you who are from the engineering and scientific disciplines, not so interesting, but maybe you have colleagues who would love to join that. But in any case, you also have economy subjects, energy, health, urbanism, water. There's science night, there's summer schools. Currently, this takes place online, which can be an advantage because if you're actually outside Egypt or if you come from another country, you could still join. We hope they're going to presence meetings again once the corona pandemic has stabilized and we can actually meet in person again. But sometimes online is not bad, and we can have more people joining. And the DRD Cairo Academy would be another good website to follow. They offer training modules in areas such as proposal writing, international network. So check them out. You may find very good offers there. For those of you who may have joined us from Jordan, Iraq, and Lebanon, have the DRD regional office to turn to for detailed information and advice. And again, a little bit of difference in programs. For Jordan, currently there are 21 options, and the individual programs on offer. For Lebanon, 2. For Iraq, only 18. I don't know if somebody is here today from the Maghreb, but if there are, then there's also another regional office in Tunis, and they look after clients and inquiries from Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, and Morocco. And again, you can see the difference in funding options. Tunisia is 25, Algeria, Morocco 23, Libya 22. So this was up-to-date information, but maybe next year you find different offers more or less. So again, there's no other way than just checking out the website. And finally, our own office in East Jerusalem, for which I'm responsible, and we look after scholars from Palestine, funding programs from Palestine, and of course for incoming scholars and inquiries from Germany who wish to go to Palestine. Right now, I found 20 options for us individual offers. So this was individual funding. If I hopefully not going too fast, and if you have some detailed questions, you can ask later in the Q&A session. But DRD also has special programs for development cooperation and alumni programs from developing regions especially. One would be the development-related postgraduate courses, the EPAM program. These are mostly master courses, but some PhD programs, and they are specifically aimed at professionals who have working experience already, at least 2 years. And that particular program, you follow the current course. There's different deadlines. So if you find a suitable course on the list, great for you. If you find it, then it's not part of the program. And you apply to the master course first. You get evaluated. If you get a placement in a master course, they would return your file back to DoD and ask if funding is available for you. And it works very similar for the Helmut Schmidt program, for the Public Policy and Good Governance program. This is for future leaders in politics, law, and business. And again, you apply to the program first. The next call will be open in June next year. And the 8 participating universities currently. Again, you apply to the university first, and if you get a scholarship, if you get a place in the master program, they will turn your file back to the DoD and check out if you have funding. Special programs for alumni, especially from the DoD. You could apply, so this is like our colleague Shadi Barkoumi, Mohammed Adam, for instance, so he was also today. You could apply for events, for workshops, for scientific lectures. You could apply for equipment grants, for literature grants. You have the chance, if you're DoD alumni, to apply for material resources for your university. This is a huge grant. It's around 30,000 euros or more. And the equipment that you get then gets into the possession of your university and gets used by all future students. And of course, you have the re-invitation program for research visits. And there's always ongoing special alumni projects, not only for DoD alumni, but also for alumni from developing countries. This could be seminars, workshops in Germany. The latest workshops were online, of course, due to the Corona pandemic. So that's also a good idea to follow the Alumni Special Project website and see what's available for you, and you know, if there's any new calls for applications. DoD also offers training programs, proposal writing workshop. Since a few years, we have the ongoing dialogue on innovative higher education strategies, the DS program. There are training courses for proposal workshops, for seminars. There's special partnerships for the higher education management. Because of course, it's not only enough that you have good professors, good teaching, good students in a university. You also need to prepare the management how to run a university in a good way. And there's special partnerships for this purpose. Right now, they're focusing on the Africa and Southeast Asia. Actually, they focused previously on the Middle East. And we had a good workshop in Amman. I think it was in 2015. And from that, we have follow-on trainings from alumni of that workshop, which they're called the National Multiplication Trainings. And I was lucky to be invited to the closing event of such a training. It was the first event in person since Corona, and I got very good advice. One of the trainers had a good advice for anybody who applies for funding, which I would like to pass on to you, is have a project ready, you know, have a proposal ready, think what are your needs, what is my idea, write it up as a proposal, be ready, and then look for a program which could finance you. And then you only need to fine-tune it to the requirements of the funding organization. And another good advice he gave was apply, apply, apply again, and then again. You know, don't be discouraged if you get rejected the first time. You know, keep trying. Every try gives you more experience, and you will eventually get your financing. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of opportunities out there, but you have to apply for them. If you don't apply, it's not going to work. Yeah. DoD university partnerships, they're currently called the Sustainable Development Goal Partnerships following the 2030 agenda. Beyond agenda. Sadly, the call has just closed for these partnerships, but I do sincerely hope that we'll post them again next year. But under these programs, you have faculty partnerships, fully fledged university partnerships, you have fact-finding missions, whereas you could invite your German partner to come to your university, to meet people, to talk about projects you may do in future, you know, instead of having many emails going backwards and forwards, Zoom meetings, what have you, you know, invite your partner. There's funding available for that, to come to your country, to see your university, to meet the people and see if they want to go ahead. And yeah, as to invite your German partner, that is DRD project funding and also alumni projects. And I wrote it here on purpose in German because actually that database is available in German only, because here typically the German partner applies for funding and the international partner provides the local support. So you already have a German partner you want to invite. Your role is to issue an invitation, to issue the local know-how, to issue the local support, be it for logistics, transportation, hotels, and so on. And the German partner actually has to apply for funding, and that's why these projects are actually posted in German. I know, of course, our alumni who speak German, so they can read it, but in case. And when I checked it just today, I found 12 calls are open currently, but there's 105 more programs in the database. So basically, we almost have 120 programs you could apply for, and the calls recur. So check out the programs which are not currently open, check if they would meet with your needs, and you know, keep on the lookout when the call for application comes again. In some of these programs, there's a triannual call for application, some of them are just annually. So based on the previous calls, you know what to expect, and then you just need to check what are the updates. Another good website I would like to draw your attention to is the Alumni Portal Deutschland website, or Alumni Portal Germany. It's available in German or in English. And this is a great platform that promotes networking and sharing information among Germany alumni, not just DRD alumni, anybody who studied in Germany or did some training in Germany. It's open also for companies, organizations, not just universities. There are seminars, there are job offers. So it's a good sharing platform which you could join. And check out what's on offer, and also do networking with the community there if you're planning to do research or studying in Germany. And I think last but not least, there are special country information pages for your German partners. If you already have German partners, you know, if they want to know about the higher education system in your country, be it Egypt, Palestine, Jordan, wherever, the DRD offices worldwide gather information on this higher education system in the host countries. We update this information annually together with our headquarters at the DRD in Germany. And there you find basic information on your university system, DRD contact points, other local contact points worldwide. And again, the information is only available in German because it's aimed at your German partners. This is the DRD Länder Information website. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of my talk, or at the end. I thank you for being patient, for listening. If you have any questions now, if there's Q&A, if I have overlooked any point, I'm ready to answer them now. And you can always contact me under, you know, I'm Eveline Muhareb, the Program Officer, Interim Director at the DRD in East Jerusalem. You can reach me by email, and of course, you can always contact our colleagues in the MENA region, in Cairo, and the other offices I mentioned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eveline, for your nice presentation. I'm repeating your word. You should apply, you prepare yourself, you should prepare your proposal, should apply. to get fund. We can start now with the questions. Lina want to ask you a question. Go ahead, Lina.
First of all, thank you for this lovely presentation. I'm in my last year of civil engineering, and I just want to ask about the internships that you talked about. What are the conditions, and when do you start taking applications?
That's the point for internships, for traineeships. We don't,
Yes.
we just post that information, but you go to the ES, the website, okay, in my presentation, or I can send you the link from my presentation. There you will find the postings. You look for your local country. You didn't tell me where you come from, Lina, from Egypt or from Palestine?
I'm from Palestine, yeah.
Yeah, from Palestine. Our local, yes, the point is somehow connected with the Anachar University in Palestine. So if you just send an email or a WhatsApp to this number, I will pick out the local contact point and I will send it to you directly. But you have to apply through the local EST committee, not through DAD for this.
Is there a special qualifications or something like that?
Usually have to be a student. Mostly you should still have maybe 1 year of studies and so on. But to be frank, this is something I have to read up as well, because we don't get that question very often. So if you like, we can explore it together and check out what are the conditions for you currently, Lina.
Okay, thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Lina. Now we have a question from Muhammad. Go ahead, Muhammad.
Okay. Firstly, I'm tremendously thankful for that fruitful presentation. Then I want to ask about, is it possible to study in Germany without the German language, like study in English only? And is it possible, or is it easy to live there without German, or without German, or we gotta find?
That's good. Mohammed, you asked me about master or PhD scholarship?
Yeah, it's master.
It's for master, okay. In the master scholarships, in fact, we want you to study in English. We would like you to choose courses which are taught in English from the International Degree database, International Degree Program database. So these are master courses which are taught in English, and there you will find yourself together with students from all over the world, and also with the German students, which we like to be instructed in English and network and get to know international students in one course. So for studying in a purely university setting, English is very fine, but the DAD asks for an English language certificate. So you have to do your IELTS testing. The DAD requirement is 6.5 or the TOEFL 79. Sometimes your universities will ask a higher score. And especially in the master programs, you apply for DAD funding. You apply almost a year ahead before the master programs open their call for application. So you gather the information, you present the DAD with a choice of 3 to 5 master courses for which you're fully eligible. And you also have to be sure that you secure a place in a master program. The DAD doesn't do that for you. Okay, so basically, yes, you will study in English, and in purely university setting, you can follow function entirely in English. But if you want to go outside, if you want to be if you want to live in Germany, you have the full experience, you should learn German, and that's why DAD usually funds up to 4 months of German language course before you start studying. So you should plan, if you're working or if you're at universities, your time schedule would be expect to go out in June of any given year for a German language course. This year, everybody got it online because of Corona. It was a mess. Nobody could go to Germany. And then you start with your course in October, and you have basic German. You can talk to people, on a day-to-day basis. And if you play it right, take German courses, come back with a degree in German language. 2 for the price of 1.
Okay. I have another question. It regards to the work experience. Is it possible to apply without work experience, or to be specific, without research work experience? Like I heard before, we have to have 2 years experience in research work to apply in that scholarships. Is that right? Or
It's an easy question. It depends on the program. We have a
Uh-huh.
specific program for professionals for developing countries, and that's what you heard. And there, definitely, you need a minimum of 2 years of working experience. But if your plan is that you stay in academia, that you will teach at university, that you do your PhD in future, and you apply for the master programs for all disciplines, for instance, or for architectural program, or some of the programs, then you don't need working experience. So it depends on the program. If you can't work it out from the call of application, there's always a contact address at your local VAD, either in Palestine or in Egypt or in any of the other countries. So if you're not quite sure, tell us what you're planning to apply for, a little bit about your background, and we work it out together with you.
okay, I'll inshallah. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you. So we have several questions in the chat. The first one, Muhammad Reda want to ask you, can you share the slides with them, because they want the links, as I understand, they want to check the links. So if it's possible to share the PowerPoint slides.
Yes, I
don't know.
sent it to Dr. Lubna, and
Okay,
I
that's
send
great.
it, and if that's suitable, and I put the links everywhere, I hope. I paid
Okay.
attention to that, but if I missed a link or one, just contact me and I'll fix it. But I shared it with Dr. Lubna, and she can share it freely with your other participants. It's most
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Okay, we have another question. Okay. Does the DAD organization offers courses in learning German? They want to learn German specifically.
Yes, not yes and no. We have one program, University Summer Grant, but this is already aimed at advanced learners of German, and they must be currently studying at university. So if you're still in a bachelor program, if you still have 1 year studies ahead of you, starting in October 2022, then you could apply for the university summer grants. The call should be online since a few days, but I know it's not yet, but it should be posted anytime soon. But for these, you need at least a B1 level of German. We don't offer language courses for beginners, but there's a lot of online sources via the Goethe Institute, which is our partner, the cultural institution, which offers language courses, via the Deutsche Welle radio program. It's like similar to BBC or CNN, but for Germany. There's a lot of free courses available. And of course, all these apps you have on your phone, so you could start off. But actual funding for German language courses, only this very specific summer language course program that I mentioned.
Okay. So we have another question about short-term internships for fresh graduates.
Well, again, the internships are posted through the ESD committee. So you have to check what is available for your country. If you're not sure, if you're from Palestine, you can write to me. If you're from any other country, you can also write to me. I'll work it out and send it. Or you can contact your local DAD office.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So another question, does scholarships involve fields related to medicine, pharmacy, or biotechnology?
Okay, for medicine, we have very few scholarships, unfortunately. On the PhD level, if you go for scientific research, purely scientific research, then you could apply for a PhD scholarship also in medicine. This is different from specialty training. If you're interested in artificial intelligence, I could send you to our participant and our alumni, Shadi Al-Bakouni, your member. He would be happy to contact with you. But for medicine itself, there's public health courses on the program for development-related postgraduate courses. But for pharmacy, yes, you could apply. For biotechnology, certainly you can. But the thing is, in medicine, funding is not so freely available. In pharmacy, it would be available. But pharmacy training in Germany is under the state examinations. So it's not a bachelor master program. So if you have a bachelor in pharmacy, it's not so easy to join a master program in pharmacy. But check it out, check what's available on the International Degree Program database, and go for it. You know, if who knows? Biotechnology, absolutely, yes, it's available.
Okay, thank you. So we have another question from Ruqayya. What about PhD program? Is German language eligible?
In the PhD program, it's recommended that you know German. It's not a prerequisite. You can apply with English only. You must know English. You must back it up with the IELTS or TOEFL test. But it's strongly recommended that you start learning German for the simple reason that you need to be able to read German. You know, you don't want to be dependent on German sources, on English sources only if you're doing your PhD in Germany. Again, your working group most likely is in English, also the German partners. But you know what it is, you start to group discussions start off in English and then you sort of slip into German or Arabic, depending on the majority, and you should be able to read them and access the German sources. So not prerequisite, but highly recommended.
Thank you. We have another question from Muhammad. Are integrated programs available to obtain master's and doctorate at the same time?
What do you mean by integrated programs? Specify, Muhammad.
Yes, I don't understand what is the meaning of integrated program. Can you, Muhammad, open the mic and ask the question, please? Muhammad El Sokki. Okay, also we have a question from Mona. Mona, she wants to ask about opportunities for PhD student and for PhD especially, and how we can apply. I don't understand the question. If you can give us an idea about the criteria. Okay, did she want to know criteria about the PhD? Yes.
I get the question often. I have a big idea. Hello?
Can I speak here?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Islam. I want just to ask you about the cultural programs, like the dual PhD programs for PhD students. Actually, I want to.
The binational programs. Okay. Where are you from, Mona?
I'm from Morocco.
I think on Morocco, I had it on the list. So please open the call for application. Check out the criteria. You have a contact point with our colleagues in the regional office in Tunis. You could ask for details because we don't have this program for Palestine. So I'm not totally familiar with it. I only know it's a dual program where you can do part of your PhD in your home country and partially in Germany. But exactly the details, how it works, our colleagues in Tunis would know much better. So read the call for application, even if it's currently not open. You know, it's always the old call. The previous call is a good indication on what you need to prepare and what you expect, and then you apply and check any updates, of course, with the new call of application. But the binational programs, personally, I'm not so familiar with. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. I think the last. Okay. Are these funding opportunities, master and PhD, available for those who are, who are from private sectors?
Possibly, yes. In the master programs, again, the professional, the scholarship for professionals, but you have to go by a set list. Not every program is available under that program, under that kind of funding. It's open to people who work with NGOs, who work in the private sector, who work for the government, and so on. So definitely, in some other programs, the TAD aims to you know, strengthen the universities, but again, go for it. One of the main criteria in DAD for both PhD and master's scholarship is that she should be a recent graduate. So if your last degree, master if you go for PhD, or bachelor if you go for master, has been more than 6 years ago, when the call for application goes online, you're no longer eligible. You need to know English very well. You need to back it up with an English test. And there are excellency scholarships. So usually we ask for very good or excellent grades. All other criteria, they're somewhat more flexible. So again, you have to go by the call for application. If you're not sure if you're eligible from your background, turn to your local DoD and they will work it out together with you.
Thank you. Mohammed Sobki, he's also asking about getting 2 degrees program at the same time.
A double degree.
Yes.
Yes, some or maybe a lot of master programs are offered as double degree courses. The criteria is if you're looking for DoD funding, then you are allowed up to a quarter of your funding. So that means 1 semester out of 4. You could do with a partner university abroad, but you have to be very careful. When we talk DoD funding, you know, the higher education in Germany is mostly free, the administrative fees, but they're not university fees. So what the DoD pays for you is a living stipend. You know, we pay your living costs, we pay a travel allowance, we pay health insurance, some research allowance, and so on. But we do not pay university fees under any circumstances, not even like the German federal state of Baden-Württemberg has 1,500 euros per semester. We don't pay that. So if your partner university is, let's say, in the UK or the US, and they have fees, go for it if it's only 1 semester, but you have to cover the fees. We pay you the living cost. Okay, so that's the really important thing you have to pay attention. But if it's only 1 semester, you're usually allowed. And if you're not sure, ask the DoD and they will tell you what's allowed.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it. We don't have any more questions. Thanks to Eveline for your time and your wonderful presentation and answering questions. It's a great pleasure to participate in this session with you. I think that's it. Please, everyone, complete the form, the feedback form, to get feedback from you about the day. Thank you. Yasmin, do you have any other comments? Dr. Lubna?
ميرسي جدا ليك يا دكتور. thank you for you all. احنا دلوقتي اليوم
Thank you very much, Dr. Islam and Ms. Eveline, for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Thank you for those who've joined. Thank you for interesting questions and good luck with the rest of the workshop.
Thank you. Okay.
one comment. الناس بتسأل في الشات يا جماعة على الاتندنس وكده، ممكن كونتاكت باي ميل. كل الايميلات هرد عليها ان شاء الله. ميرسي.
شكرا لكم جميعا. ربنا يوفقكم ان شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
ميرسي يا دكتور، مع السلامة.